Welcome one and all to Ian's Book Club. I apologize in advance for the low audio quality, but I'm trying to do this all in one take because my phone is running out of memory and I've been real lazy about managing that. So, I hope this is fair use, but we're just gonna go through, well, why don't we start off with an introduction? Every once in a while in your life, there's a book that comes along, and it changes you for the better. Most religions have holy texts, so most religious people will know this feeling. This is a list of non-religious texts that I personally believe have changed me for the better. Starting off with what used to be my favorite book when I was a kid. This has everything from, well, it has pretty much everything in it. Alright, then you go here, and I have not opened this in a very long time, but my old elementary school teacher actually used this to teach the class. I donated it to the class, and they were like, wow, this covers everything. Thank you, Ian. Then we go to here, and, whoops, I've got these in the wrong order. So, then we go to here. This is the third book. This is called Code by Charles Petzold, and it will teach you not only how to make a computer, but it will teach you basic electronics, and basic language. This is a beautiful book. If I had a holy book, it might be this one. Which is funny because, as an artist, I actually did create my own religion, but I'm not super serious about it. Like, don't be weirded out by that. Alright, then we go here, and, this is From Sundials to Atomic Clocks. Somebody got this for me, a long time ago, and it got, really beat up in my closet, because, when I say a long time ago, I mean, I was a 3-year-old who just owned this, and thank you, whoever gave this book to me, because later, when I was a 13-year-old, after reading this, I picked this one up and was like, oh, synchronization? Good stuff in here. This teaches you, literally, not only the history, but the science behind going from sundials to atomic clocks and different, time standards, and, this is a beautiful book. Then we go here, and this book did the impossible. It managed to make, this is The Elements, a Visual Exploration of Every Known Atom in the Universe by Theodore Gray. This book managed to do the impossible. It made the periodic table exciting. Then here comes the crazy part, okay? So imagine, just for a second, I am not qualified to educate, but just imagine for a second that this is how I would run a curriculum if I were running a school, and I am not qualified for that, okay? I used to be in the special ed classes. I am not qualified for that. Alright, so, it branches into 3 categories. One of them ends right here, so don't worry about it. We start off, you can pick, this is an elective, but you have to pick one or the other, reading The Math Book by Clifford A. Pickover, which is just random, really interesting things about math. Okay? Just peruse this until you're bored with it. Or read all the way through this, because this is a good book. This is The Periodic Table and Exploration of the Elements, not to be confused with this one, by Joel Levi. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, buddy. I don't actually know you, so I guess we're not buddies. This, it starts out with alchemists, and it goes all the way down to, modern-day scientists. These, cavemen, idiot alchemists banging rocks together and blaming Zeus, to, scientists who can actually count the atoms in a substance. So then we get here, and you can either travel backwards to read this one and then go here, or you can travel backwards from this one to... Either way, from either of these two, you can select either this one, and then if you picked this one, you can either select this one, or if you picked this one, or you can select this one. So, let's just go down the list here. Hold on, my cat wants me. Okay, it's still one take. I just, yeah. This book, it helped me with a lot of things in high school, and I only read, well, I read past there, but I didn't get all the way through it. But it teaches you about electron orbitals and probably some other good stuff. This one, it's pretty math heavy, so I only got through the first few chapters, but it's a good book too. I'm a little weird with math. I love math, but I am working on a personal project. It's a different approach to math that treats it more like a sentence structure rather than it's weird. Don't worry about my personal projects, but for personal reasons, I have not finished that book. This book teaches you about the history of mathematics. It's basically this book, but for math instead of chemistry. It's the story of mathematics from creating the pyramids to exploring infinity by Anne Rooney. Hope I pronounced that correctly. My cat wants out now. Oh no, he's wandering around. Okay. Calculus for Dummies. This book, I'm not sure if I got all the way through it, but it was super helpful. And because of this book, and because of the next book on the list, I picked this up to fill in the gaps. And now the next book. This one's a bit controversial. The Divine Proportions, Rational Trigonometry to Universal Geometry by N.J. Wildeberger. This guy is an Australian theoretical mathematician. And personally, I want you to read this book so you can realize that it is, well, it's wrong about a couple things. His approach, it checks out, but basically he wants you to use squares instead of lines, and that's the trick, because converting to lines requires calculations that he doesn't want to do. So it's basically just lazy trigonometry. But this is a great read for understanding why trigonometry works the way it works. So this guy is a genius, he's not a quack, but this method is not applicable to the real world. However, it will teach you how to understand trigonometry better, and that's something that trigonometry classes do not teach. Believe me, I got like low C's in trigonometry. Alright, traveling back up to our original branching path structure, and you cannot move from here to here, or from here to here. This is the end of a third little tiny path. We covered this one. Alright, the cell, a molecular approach. I am not even through this one yet, but I can say, definitively, this is a darn good book. My other cat wants in, hold on. One went in and the other went out. Say hi, Bagheera. No? Okay. Alright. This is The Cell, a Molecular Approach. Mine happens to be the 7th edition by Jeffrey M. Cooper and Robert E. Hausman. I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry, dude. Alright, sorry. I don't want to breach fair use, so I'm not going to show you the insides of these things too much. But it treats the cells like collections of molecules. So basically, it's like a Build-A-Bear workshop, but for living creatures. It's like when you get those kits and they help you put together like tiny little robots that drive around and do dumb stuff, but for cells. This is a darn good book. Okay? A lot of these are darn good books, and you should read them. This one, I just put it on here because it's my personal favorite. It's probably hard to find, and it is really old. This one's kind of interchangeable with most animal encyclopedias, but this one has amoebas and trilobites and scallops and shrimp and sponges and birds, and there's even a page about penguins that I think my younger self tore out to give to their friend who really liked penguins at the time, because my younger self was a little bit more destructive with their things. But yeah, good book, tons of good books. Alright, this has been The Shim. Don't forget to dislike, unsubscribe, and share this video with your enemies. Over and out.